In this video, I'm going to go step by step on how to install a hitch on a Mercury Mariner, Ford Escape, and Mazda Tribute. They're all basically the same vehicle, a couple changes here and there. But this is going to work for an 05 to 11 Mariner, an 08 to 2012 Escape, and an 08 to 2011 Mazda Tribute. So follow along, we'll get this hitch installed. I'll give you some pointers along the way. I've installed these before. I can tell you a big tip is to get a second person just to get that first bolt in. Otherwise you're going to need two jacks and you're going to have to go back and forth to get those first two bolts in. That'll save you about 20 minutes of time if you have an extra hand. It only takes a few minutes. So let's get started. I'll show you up close the hitch. Now this is a draw tight hitch. I like draw tight hidden hitch and Kurt hitches. They're all extremely well made. I never use any of those no-name Chinese brand hitches. And here is the part number for this particular hitch. And depending on whether or not you have the integrated OEM hitch plates or not, these are the parts that you're going to use to bolt it together. These bolts here I'm not going to use on this particular vehicle. It's only going to take these right here. And there's got some pull wires. Well, this whole job, if you have two people, will be done in under an hour. It all depends on how easy you can get the exhaust loosened up. So I'm going to spray the exhaust hanger, and the first thing we need to do is loosen that exhaust. So on the passenger side of the vehicle, towards the back, you have that exhaust pipe, and that is the exhaust hanger that we need to loosen up so the exhaust can come down a little bit. You just spray that metal hanger with some WD-40 or rust penetrant, and we'll get it loosened up out of that rubber grommet. So I've started on the driver's side, and what you need to do is thread your pull wire through. As you can see, it goes through that hole right there, and then the curly part, or the part you're going to thread onto your bolt, is going to come through that hole right there. Now that you've got your block up inside the frame rail, the bolt threaded onto your pull wire, simply pull the bolt through. And out the other end, and leave this pull wire on. So we're going to do the same thing for the other side. Now over here on the passenger side above the exhaust, we have that bolt pulled through just like we do on the other side. Now if you're doing this by yourself, leave the pull wires on. If you're doing it with another person, you could take those pull wires off. Just be careful because we're going to lift the hitch up into place right now. So here's a quick tip. Always use blue Loctite on any of the nuts and bolts. You can simply coat the inside of the nuts or put it on the outside of the bolts. This is going to prevent vibration over time from these nuts loosening up. Now as far as these washers go, I want to show you these washers up close. You see how there's teeth on that side? The teeth are going to go against the painted surface of the hitch. So that means that your nut is always going to go on the opposite side of the teeth. So I'm over here on the driver's side. As you can see, that front mounting nut and washer is on. I just have it finger tight. And now we need to do those two bolts right there with the same type of wire pull method. I'm still working over here on the driver's side. And as you can see, same type of wire pull method. You want to do the hole in the front first and then do the rear. And you're going to come through the same access hole as you did for the other front bolt. So if you take a look over here on the passenger side, I have those nuts and washers all hand tight. So all 6 nuts and bolts are hand tight right now. They're all in position. And now I want to make sure that the hitch is level. And then we're going to go around and tighten up all the nuts to 50 foot-pounds of torque. Now before I go around and tighten all those nuts, I want to make sure that this hitch is either level or slightly up. I want to make sure that it's not sagging down. Easiest way to do that, install a drop bar with a ball mount. And if you have a small torpedo level, you can check it right here to make sure that this hitch is not leaned downward. I either want it level or slightly up so that the hitch is pointed this way just a little bit. That way when I add weight onto my trailer, the top of this drawbar and the ball mount is going to stay parallel to the trailer. Now if your hitch is sagging downward, you can simply put a bottle jack or a floor jack underneath it, get it to where you want it, and then we'll go around and tighten all those nuts to 50 foot-pounds of torque. And now go ahead and spray a little bit of lubricant on that exhaust hanger, and it will push back in place very easily. Once you've got that exhaust back in place, call this project complete. You've saved yourself a lot of time and money by installing this yourself. Total time if you do this by yourself is under an hour. If you have one other person, you're going to save about 20 minutes. Just remember, put Loctite on all the nuts. It's not required, but go a little bit of extra and put that on there. Hope this video was helpful and informational. Thanks for watching.